Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 13 of Juice. And we are waiting on our guest of honor. Hopefully, he set his alarm and he hasn't answered my text. So So anyway, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Patty Wonder, and I am a founding director in New Zealand, and worked there the first 8.5 years of my business, and then moved back to the States because obviously I don't talk like you. And so, but Region 3 is still, I didn't realize it until I came home, but Region 3 is really my home. I'm just kind of detouring at the moment. So, the first thing we're going to do, our amazing newscaster, Riz, take it away.
Thank you, Patty. We do have a big one today. So I've broken it all down into short bits because we don't want to be here all year. New catalogue came out yesterday. It's amazing, and it's going to last for the entire year. The monthly edit is the Leap and Lily Warmer, and instead of 5 bars, we're getting 4 because freshwater sage is delayed. And I thought earlier when I wrote that, I was like, oh, if you forget the name, freshwater sage is delayed. Freshwater sage is delayed. Okay, so you can't forget that now. Freshwater sage is delayed.
Except for we might be manifesting it to be delayed more than.
It is now. It's not coming at all now.
Oh,
Uh, it's just delayed. We've all sung it too much. The princess, how do you say this princess? Is it Tiana?
mm-hmm.
Prince? I'm not
Yep.
familiar with this one. Princess Tiana collection is out. The Easter collection is out, and the cleaning bundle is delayed also until what? To be announced sometime this month, maybe. I don't know when.
I did not look at your.
Uh, the new, I think it just had TBA. I
Okay.
don't think it had a date. The new charitable cause warmer, Heart of Hope, which supports Her Heart in Australia and Heart Foundation in New Zealand. That's the new one. I think it's cute. It's very nice. Mid-March, we have the new garden bouquet fragrance flowers coming to celebrate. Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival at Walt Disney World Resort in Florida. Join promotions. We have all new ones, and people can start from $9. And there is new discounted bundles for new consultants. There's 4 of them. For the Love of Warmers incentive, which is, I printed it off, that one. Now, I had questions about this last night, and I was talking to Karen, my fellow legend, and I was like, okay, is it both warmers per thing? And then I found the FAQs, and it is. All 8 warmers are there. So there you go. It's not just the ones in the pictures. It is all 8, which is good.
And the East. I'll shut up if you have the rest.
And rewards do count. Is that what
rewards count, but also the Easter. I'm assuming, I can't remember. They were talking about today the Easter warmers and the
edit.
Edit.
Yeah, because
the
I
edit
just
know.
finished
I know
watching
the
end
edit
of month.
count.
Yeah,
but
the edit ones count.
Yes, the edit ones count. So if you do your warmer of the quarter, and you should be able to ace it. But there was also the Easter ones, and then something else that just came out that I can't remember. Also count. So
they count too.
I'll go find it. Because Patty, I know who said
good.
it because she was like, rare.
And we finally. What?
Keep going.
What's happened?
Nothing. Keep going. Why do you think something's happening?
Okay. You can all hear me still?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we got candles. I did hear that black raspberry vanilla is delayed. Is that true? Because it's not one that I would buy. Karen, did you get black raspberry vanilla?
It is delayed. It says TBD. I have your thing up now. So Karen just scored. She bought the one that they
I
had.
ordered it and it didn't get removed from my basket. So maybe
And it is on the website. It's on the website. So
Yeah, I ordered mine. I got mine.
Interesting.
okay, so
Where's
that's it for the
Jason
news.
when we
Thank
need
you.
him? I bet you he thinks it's tomorrow. But he did say tonight, right? And I said, yes, tonight. Because it's really the first night for us. Even though it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. So funny. Okay. So if you are like me, you need a list. Here you go. This is a list of which warmers are included. If you look in the FAQs, it'll actually tell you which warmers. There is a list, but now I know you probably don't have all of the ones we have. I know you only have one of the eggs, but your Easter eggs. So the cottage gingham mini from the Easter collection counts as a classic warmer. Your Easter egg warmers count as classic warmers. In the enliven category, good Lord, I can't talk. The Verdant Escape from the Easter collection. I don't know if you have that. The March Edit, all three from the March Edit count. Inspire Warmers, Belair, Cascade, Lustra, Lightweave, Silver Stem. The Warm Warmers, that's weird. Nautilus, April Edit. Ocean Crest, April Edit. Waves and Wings, April Edit. So don't forget the Easter collection if you're gonna, those count. Okay, keep going, news lady.
That was it. I've finished. Thank you. Back to you, Patty.
All right. Well, since he's not here, I don't know what to do. Let us all talk. All right. Has everybody got everything ready to go? You got your transition testers, got your catalogs. Have you decided which stickers? I see a no from Ellie. Are you waiting on things?
Yes, I'm hoping they'll be delivered tomorrow, transition testers. So there was a delay here because I think
Okay.
a couple of testers were they hadn't arrived, so they held back everybody's orders, and I'm
Okay.
hoping mine will arrive tomorrow.
Okay. I have the same thing with my March edit. It still hasn't arrived. And I'm like, okay. So I don't know. I can't remember if I shared this. Somebody shared, oh, because my keyboard's on it. Somebody shared she put this together on Canva. And then she's got like the 3 new scents that we have. And then we all, like, I just picked ones for my customers that I don't think, I kind of know my customers. So I thought, okay, I'll just pick some more. And so I put things on there and I try to put things on there I didn't really like or not my jam either because most of my customers like stuff I don't like. So, but I just picked some more for them because I figure once the season changes after summer here, then I can do this again, but maybe put some different ones on it. So these are more spring and summer because that's where we're going into. But if this isn't in the juice group, I can stick it in there. And then I just went in and put my QR code in there and I put my name on it and I put scratch and stitch. People don't understand that these smell, although with the blueberry cheesecake on there, I'm thinking they'll get the point. Holy crap, it's strong. I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh. Then these were from Jody Farmer. And I came clean because normally, and even Kathy's like, that doesn't sound like you. But for some reason, I'm terrified to do the marketplace thing. I've printed out my pamphlets, got my scent circles, got everything to send them out for free sample packs, and have not done them because I'm not afraid of doing it. I'm afraid of the overwhelm of responses that I might get. And I'm very, very protective of my peace bubble and the non-drama. So I keep going, oh, I don't want to answer questions. Oh, I don't want people anti-MLM. Oh. So I keep like talking myself out of it. So I'm coming clean to tell you. But on the other thing I didn't do, because everybody else thinks I do everything, but I don't. I only did about half of this sheet for week 1 from that task sheet. So I've reprinted it out and redoing it. We're going to do it again next week. And on there was do 1 marketplace ad every single day. So of course I didn't do that the first time. Um, so Robin has said, oh good, she's got her stuff and she did a marketplace a few times last month. She only got a few clicks, but no questions or sales. So when you look at Cassandra Salita's profile, because she's the one that's really pushing this with Scentsy and really trying to help consultants. She's even giving you pictures and words and all the things. Obviously, you're going to have to tweak them for your region, but she did a post the other day that says, "Tell me about the success you've had on Marketplace since you started doing this." And I will tell you, there's one common thread in all of it, and I also confess, I've watched her training on this at least 3 times because every time I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. I watch the training and I still don't do it. So it does happen to me too. But in the comments, the key is to post every single day. And one of the things she said that really sticking with me is whatever you're posting on Facebook, on your profile or on your business page or wherever, post it on Marketplace as well. And that just made me go, all the anxiety just starts to go. And so, but the people that were consistent in it every single day for the month are seeing really nice rewards because it's the consistency and it's the layering that seems to be, it's all kind of coming. It's like almost the planting the seed, but it shows up later kind of thing. So that's the one thing that I noticed in the patterns of what everybody was saying in the comments. The ones that were really consistent and doing what she said in a month were having really good results. And by good results, I mean, it could have been 6 sales and a recruit. I know that was one person's, like, I think she had 6 sales, 1 recruit, and 3 people thinking about joining kind of thing. So if she didn't do that, if you're posting anyway, why not post there? Like, that's kind of the headspace, right? And so that's 6 people she wouldn't have got, and a new recruit she wouldn't have gotten if she didn't do it. So all this is playing in my head all the time, just to let you know. And I keep looking at Kathy because Kathy and I talk a lot. And so I'm like, I confess a lot to Kathy. I didn't get sniff stickers for our new scents as I couldn't see them. So I can't actually see region 3s. I don't know why. I used to be able to when I was here, but for some reason I can't, and I need to figure out why. But they're not in normal places. They're actually in, when you go to stickers, just the normal stickers, you have to do the drop down box and then find them. And the new scents for us were at the bottom of the long list. So, but then I also had leftover ones from I think last summer or whatever. So these are all ones that actually came back to our catalog. So I'm going to use those for these things. So see, I'm organized. I'm just procrastinating. But yeah, so if you haven't looked there, and if you have looked there and they're not in that drop down list, then you might want to give Jason a heads up or post in the do I dare say all consultant page so that they know, or contact consultant support and ask when they're going to be in, or somebody needs to know they're not there. If everybody's just going there and then going, oh, they're not there, I can't find them. It's not like a bitch session. It's just like, hey, do you know when we're going to get these? Because they're still not
Patty,
in. Yeah.
One of them's available and one's not. Well,
Okay.
one of the new stickers are out of stock
Okay. And do
and
we know
one's
when they're coming?
available.
And do we know when they're coming back?
No,
No.
no. They're
Is
just
any
out of stock. Yeah.
okay. I think we had one. All of our transition testers have been out of stock twice already. So there's been that problem. But yeah, the stickers, I think some of ours were too right now at this point. So be interesting. Somebody stay on top of them.
I keep on checking, but yeah, there's one still out of stock.
I would make contact with somebody and say, hey, do we know when these are coming back? Or can you put them on the product, even though it's not a product list, you need them or you want them? I mean, you can do
Yeah.
felt samples or whatever too, but then it doesn't match. If things need to match, if you're that person. I bet you he slept, honestly. I bet you he slept. So
He'll text you tomorrow and say, Patty, I can't get into the Zoom.
so this morning when I woke up, I had a message from him and it said yesterday, which was yesterday, this morning, the meeting is at 1 a.m. Central Time tonight. I said, yes, sir. And then he said, remind me what you need from me. I said, you can talk about whatever you'd like. And then I gave him some opinions and some thoughts. Just to show you my thoughts, look at my blue. I had
I
some
like
thoughts.
that you can talk about anything you like, and then that's so long.
Well, I had talked to him. I said, sometimes I feel like I need to buy him a helmet because I feel like he's banging his head against the wall because I feel like he's done an amazing job. But I feel like he's saying all the same things. And the people that don't listen to the training and the people that don't listen to the lives are the ones moaning, bitching, and complaining in the all consultants group and asking the questions he's already answered 1,000 times. And the people that keep going, why don't we get this? Oh, I wish we got that. Like, I'm to the point where I'm going to start deleting those comments in the juice group because it's enough. We get it. I understand. I've been there many years before when we didn't get almost anything. We didn't even get what you get in the starter kits right now. I'm like, man, those starter kits are nice. But you can't focus on that. And until everybody kind of takes their focus and changes it and focuses on what they have, oh my gosh, all the stuff you have actually, and selling that and hitting those numbers and sharing Scentsy and the opportunity and kind of almost like a rebuild, you can get a lot of these things back. And that's what I think people aren't understanding, that it's not a forever. It's a basically until we get our poop in a group in region 3 and we're soaring again. But he also did say, I will read you that since he's not here. Please hold. Let me see what I can. I did tell him, because the one thing you guys always tell me is like, I wish we had somebody in our own time zone. And I had said, well, it'd be nice if you did Zooms so that people felt seen and heard. And he goes, I do Zooms. And I'm like, I apologize. I did not know that because I've only seen his Facebook lives. So I said that you're talking at them and it's quite short, but they don't actually, you don't get to talk to them. And so I do wish I was closer and time zones were better and we could meet in person, have real conversations more often. It's simmering. I need to work to get more of. Usually requires a 1 a.m. meeting. So he knew. Unless he's going to hop on at 2 o'clock. I bet you he hops on at 2 o'clock. It says, luckily, this is from Jason. Luckily, we are closing the gap on products that we aren't getting this year. It's remarkable how big an impact tariffs and supply chain had on our ability to get products. Much better consistency this year. So the other thing is assume the best, not the worst. Every single time, if you don't get the same things we get, assume there's a proper reason they're not out to get you. And I think that's another thing is when you feel disconnected, it's usually the people that are very unplugged from Scentsy. I have to fill my cup every single week by attending a training or talking to certain people. I know Riz and Kathy are on my Marco Polo list all the time. And so, and I love talking to Jocelyn because Jocelyn's brain works very different than mine. And she doesn't agree with me on stuff. And I like it because it creates this extra conversation where it makes me think different. And I love that. Um, but it's though when I feel meh, which I have this past week, I immediately start watching trainings because they make me feel connected. And I remember Heidi saying something in our leadership this past year where she said, when you feel burnt out, it's because you've kind of lost that childlike wonder. You've stopped having fun. You've stopped looking forward to things, but usually you've completely disconnected and you're not engaged anymore with the community and what's happening. So how can we do that? And that was the whole point of kind of the Zoom idea, was that I felt like you needed, I don't know, you needed to talk and you need to see each other and you need to be able to get to know each other this way. I mean, I attend Melissa and Anna's Zooms every Tuesday night. It's the one thing I really never miss if I can't help it. And it's because of the energy, and it's because people are working. And when you surround yourself with other people that are doing what you want to do, it gives you energy, and it just kind of, it makes you realize, well, I can do this too, even on Marketplace. I will post in Zoom when I do my Marketplace ad just so that I stay accountable to you. Or you'll see it. I don't know. So sometimes my damn Facebook still shows everything to people in New Zealand more than America. Even though I've changed everything, it's crazy. Oh, here, wait. Robin, you can always talk too if you want. Yes, after hearing him explain why we don't get the same things, example, warehouse space. Oh, yeah, that too. Stock needs to be moving and totally understand. Yeah, he really has been really transparent with a lot and given a lot of context that we have never had before in Region 3, like never. Um, and like, yeah, it's, I want more leaders and more, like if you know somebody that you want to come speak on a Zoom or whatever, please let me know, or let them know to let me know. Because we need more Region 3 leaders pouring into Region 3. That's my opinion. That has nothing to do with Jason. But like y'all get sick of hearing from me, or I mean, a lot of times it's Karina and Chelsea and me and our big models all the time. So if you have great ideas, even if you're not a leader, well, most of you on here probably have one team member, so you're a leader. So if there's things that's working in your business, let's share it. That's what's different about Scentsy too. We want everybody to, when everybody in the region succeeds, it helps everybody in the region. That's what we want. So, how many, is anybody here planning on coming to SFR in Potato Land? Anyone? No. Kathy? Maybe. If she wins the lottery, or I win the lottery, then I get to bring her over.
Hey, if Kathy's anything like me, you have to buy a ticket first before you can win.
Yeah, true that. I'm that way. I'm a horrible gambler.
I know Daryl is weekly. Well, trust me, we're in, but we're just, if we'd saved after all these years, we'd be right.
Yeah.
Patty, just back on to what you were talking about with Jason. I somehow managed to miss the end of month yesterday, and all of a sudden I went, oh shit, I need to watch it before tonight. So I did watch it at like twice the speed, but it was interesting listening to Orville talk about the fact that they've reduced the excess inventory that they've had in all regions, and so that flash sales won't pop up every month now, and the fact that the numbers of the sales for February in a non-flash sale month were actually better this year than they have been for quite a few years. Was fantastic. And they were saying, they were talking, him and Heidi were sort of having that conversation between the two of them about the fact that people, tend to have a flash, that go for the flash sale or wait for the flash sale and then stock up. And so by not having them like every couple of months or whatever, people will actually have to buy either full price or go to the clearance, because there's some absolute bargains in the clearance. But also, I've noticed both Jason and I think Orville said it in one of the end of months, is the fact that the number of products that need to be produced in any line has almost doubled from what it was before. So to get things for Region 2 and Region 3, they have to have that, a much bigger amount of product made. And if you're not selling them and then they're just going into clearance, like why would you do it? And I can, as a business, why would you do that? Why would you fork out all that money knowing that you're not going to sell all those products at full price? Like, it doesn't make business sense. So everyone can whinge and bitch, but you've got to look at it. They're a business. They're and yes, they care about the consultants. They we're a family, of consultants. But the thing is, at the end of the day, it's still a business for them, and it has to run as a business, So people need to understand that. And if you want to bitch and complain, well, there's a door out there. I'm sorry, that's my... Yeah, and Robin, you're right. Australia and New Zealand have to grow. We have to grow to stay, because the thing is, if we don't grow, we won't stay. And that's not a threat. That's business, and that's practicality. Because you look at Tupperware. I was a Mary Kay consultant. Do you know how long, how quick their closure was? 7 days. In Australia, 7 days. We're closing. That's it. 7 days and they were gone. So, it's business, and people have to realize that. And to be perfectly honest, I come and I talk, but I understand all the workings, but getting my ass out there, I'm just a bit slack at that, and I have to pull my finger out and just get on with it, and no more procrastinating. I've decided that I just need to do it. So, it's got to be a business. If you want it to be a hobby, at the end of the day, you might as well just be a host, because you're going to get just as much benefits as a host than you are at the moment at trying to run it as a hobby business, unless you're doing a lot. Oh, sorry, I'll shut up now, because that's just my opinion.
I like hearing your opinion. You know that. I get when she gets all fired up, but she's right. Like, and I think sometimes consultants just look at it as a me, like I want that. All my customers have said, well, like one customer, I've told her that they wanted the, this and that item. All her customers, no, not all. Then she has to buy all of them in the warehouse. So they really do try to forecast correctly. And do they get it wrong sometimes? Absolutely. They did it with Gilmore Girls. That was a prime example of, they did it here and it sold out within, and I don't think anybody was really, we knew it would sell out, but we didn't know within minutes. So, and then the overwhelm from Region 3 going, what? We love that. Yeah, it kind of all, that was a big ripple and you could feel it. And Jack Skellington was another one that was a really big one when it happened. So they really they are trying to run a viable business that's going to grow. And like I keep saying, well, now all their kids are pretty much invested and have jobs within the company that they've had to earn and apply for and work towards. So they need that stability too. So it's like everybody's invested. And I know that's one of those things that Jason says at the end of every Facebook Live, and I just kind of shake my head going, what does he say? I'm committed. We're committed. We're all in. What's the other thing he said? He always says the same things, and I'm just going, Region 3, are you digging that? Because it doesn't feel Region 3. And I'm like, good point. Doing it for yourself. They aren't working it. Yeah, it is and look, you don't even have to do a lot, but like all the people, this is a prime example, and I'm talking globally. All the people that lost their shit when it went from 200 to 250 a year. I keep going this. It wasn't a month. It was a year. 50 extra PRV a year. And everybody's like, "Ugh." So now they dropped it down to 200 last month and this month. And are all the people that bitch moaned and complained, were they active last month? No. Are they going to be active this month? No. So if you're going to complain, you should be like, oh yeah, I'm going to show you I'm going to be active just so that you stay where I want you to stay. But they didn't. They're just, so that's why they listen, but are you backing up the talk? And I don't mean you, I mean all of Sensianity. Because I was just like, oh my God, it's 50 a year. When we started, we needed 200 every, was it 3 months? 3 months, yeah. So I'm like, and a bunch of us have actually said, can we please go back to every 3 months, please? Because honestly, if you are only putting in an active order once a year, most likely you're not really taking care of customers and you're not building. You just aren't, because your customers aren't going to wait a year for you to put in a bulk order. So there is that headspace, but since he said, because we asked them that during leadership, and Orville's like, well, actually the numbers are showing us something else. They want to give people the chance to, maybe they are going through different things in their lives. Maybe they got a slow start. Maybe they had a shitty sponsor. Now they've changed that where you don't even need a sponsor to join and you can pick your sponsor once you're in, which would be amazing. But they're trying to accommodate what people have been asking for, but the people that are asking aren't coming to the table on their side to do what needs to be done, I don't think. So, but I think it has helped people the once a year for certain people that have gone through crazy things in their lives and horrible things in their lives. I've had a couple people in my front line where kids were trying to commit suicide, where a husband died all of a sudden, a couple of those. So there's lots of things that just rock you, and Sensi's not the first thing on your brain for most people. For me, it still was. We all know me and my weird autistic ADHD brain. I'm like, nope, got Sensi. And I went and did a party the day of my man's funeral. He would have expected nothing less. He would have said, of course she did. I'm surprised she didn't have warmers at my funeral. So everybody's priority is different. And it really depends where you put Sensi in your priorities. Sensi is my priority. I know I can say that because I don't have kids, but, or a husband. But I do have to talk myself
Is that a
into
yet?
I'm like, thank God.
Oh, I thought it was a yet.
Thank God on both, actually, I mean, I love Chloe, but yeah. But yeah, so everybody has other things though. You don't know other things I'm going through or what's happening in my life. It's just, I know where I want to be. I know what my goals are. And that's why I need to pull my finger out of my ass about this damn marketplace thing, because I'm like, it might be the door. Like, and I want to open all the doors and see if there's anybody at the other side. So one's going to be a party, one's going to be marketplace, one's going to be buy sell, one's going to be realtor, one's going to be builder. Like I want these doors, one's going to be a fundraiser, one's going to be a maybe sponsor a senior. I don't know. I can't do buddy drives unless it's for animals because it would be so off brand and people would be so confused if I did a buddy drive for kids. It's not like I wish them bad things, but people know about my allergy to children, so it'd be really weird to do a buddy drive as much as I'd love to do. It just is off brand. So let's just not. And I don't know if people would buy a $55 buddy for a dog. I think they might.
Karen
Karen would.
Karen has, yes.
Okay. Oh, good. Good job, Karen. We can't hear you.
Unmute yourself.
It was for my granddaughter because she loves dogs and she walked around going, ooh, ooh, ooh. So it was for Laura.
You got Ruby one, our fur granddaughter. You brought Ruby one, Thumper?
Yes. And I brought Frankie for Frankie.
See? So I think, and I went to the store recently. I took one of the dogs that I pet sit for, and I took him to. He doesn't know the rules about when I take you to the pet store. You can pick up anything you pick up, and you keep it in your mouth. I will buy it for you. That's the rule at the pet store. And he didn't know because his parents never did that. But I kept looking at the price of some of these, and I'm like, $37. That's like $38. That's like $40. I'm like, well, maybe people would spend this for a buddy for their animals if I did it for like a rescue, a dog rescue or something. I'm not sure. A little scared of that one because I'm like, what if they just destroy it? At least they had fun for 5 seconds. I don't know.
I've got a customer that had Perry the platypus, and then they got another dog. And unfortunately, that one was a naughty dog because it ripped him apart. So she brought Perry ×2 when he came in the clearance.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I pet sit for 2 dogs. Most of the dogs that I've had, or most dogs, they will take all the stuffing out, but carry around the carcass. I have 2 dogs that I pet sit for where they eat the inside. So they'll take the stuffing out, but they'll eat it. And so we can't have that. So I can't leave my socks out. I can't do anything because if it's soft, they will chew it and most likely swallow it. So
That's my daughter's dog. Every toy, the stuffing comes out and then he just runs around. Or if there's a sock anywhere near the laundry basket, yep, he gets them and he runs away with them.
you have to really think about putting your stuff down. Okay, so Robin.
So Kathy, was that wise woman the one that's sitting there right now with the Harry Potter hat on?
All right. Robin and Jocelyn, my problem is getting parties. I have a block asking people, even though I'd love to be doing them. Robin, what's your block? Correct, Kathy. Where's Robin? You can talk. You just have to unmute yourself. Oh, you don't know. This is a great time to use the help button, as I call it. I don't suggest you do it all the time or every single month. You use the help button strategically. So this is a great time because you have a new catalog. So I especially like when I moved, I was trying to get people to do, I don't even care if I would rather do in-home than online. I really hate online, but I do them because I have to do something. So, but I say, could you do me a favor? Could I come or could I take you out for coffee or could we meet and could you help could you give me some opinions? We have a brand new catalog and I just want to practice going through it and answer questions so that when I do a party, I know the answers or I know what to say or I know what people are going to ask. Basically, act blonde, as they always say. That's how my old director used to say, just act blonde. I don't know. But sometimes that's a nice way in. Like, I need 3 people. Could I get 3 people to help me out and help me practice with the new catalog? Oh, and hey, if you invite a friend or two with you, I'll have a special gift for you or something like that. It could start something like that. And then if they end up liking lots of things, usually I'll be like, you know what, you just need to have a party. And I usually tell them, I very rarely ask people to have a party. I usually in conversation will be like, you just need to have a party. Let's just do a party. And they'll go, okay, well, what do I have to do? And I'm like, how are you on social media? And if they suck at social media, I'm like, well, we're going to have to do it at your house or at a bar or at a restaurant. Because if you suck at social media, your party will suck. And I've done enough of them now to know, like, if you suck at social media, if you're not going to be on there every single day, liking every single post, commenting on every single post, tagging your guest, inviting a lot of guests, reminding your guests, if you're not going to do that, it's stupid for us to do an online party. So we'll do it in person. But sometimes just that 1 or 2 people at a time is a great way to just not only just build the relationship, but it kind of sometimes leads into the conversation as well. When they go, oh, I really like that, and oh, I really like that, and oh my gosh, I like this, and their list keeps growing and growing and growing and growing, then it's a thing. But until they experience it and they like are smelling things and seeing things and touching things, depending on what their level of knowledge of Scentsy is. It's really funny, Robin. Robin said, yes, I think in person would be much easier. The reason why so when people like to ask people to pick a word for the year. I did this one year and then I've never done it again. But that year, Faith had asked us to pick a word and I said home. And it was 2019. And I think it was going into 2020. My word was home. I wanted to move home because Earl had died in 2018. I wanted to move home, but I also was doing so many home parties. I was like, I don't want to leave home. I just want to stay home and do Facebook parties. So my word was home. Everything was about being home. And then COVID hit. And my in-person parties had to be changed into Facebook parties. And after 2 of those, I went to my refrigerator and I just crossed off the words off. And I never picked another word of the year ever again. I was like, fuck this. Because you can get sales, booking, and recruits in 3 hours. Like that's pretty much the length of when I get together, 3 hours from start to finish. You can get it all done there. A Facebook party is like a week long. Some people come in, some people don't stay, some people click out for something else, some people don't have their notifications on. When one person private messages me with a question, other people don't see the question. So then they have the same question and they'll private message me. And I'm like, oh my God, if this would have happened at a party, they would have asked it. I would have said, did you hear that? Here's the answer. And everybody would have heard it. Oh my gosh. So that is how I feel about Facebook versus in person. Now, saying that, I've done probably over 500 home parties, easy. On the way to every home party, I feel sick to my stomach. I still feel nauseous. I still get really hot. I still ask for water, um, because I get hot talking in front of people. I still take my shoes off because I feel better when my shoes are off when I'm doing a party. And I tend to sit on the floor a lot because I feel weird when people are looking up at me. I think I'm all that or something. I don't like it. So I tend to sit on the floor. although I'm getting older with a new hip, so we'll see. Last time it was a chair because I was still in pain from my hip. Ellie, man, what are you doing? And so if I can do in person, I would rather do in person. Can you do an in person at your house, like a new catalog kickoff, or if you can't, because I'm in a house where I can't do stuff at my house really. So I do it at somebody else's house, or I have them meet me at a restaurant. We do chips and salsa and sniffs, or call it snack and sniff. Or you can do the sip and sniff at a coffee shop, or I used to pick like a restaurant, and then one person had agreed to come meet me there. So then I invited a bunch of other people. So all of a sudden it was 3 or 4 people that came. They didn't know each other, but now it was a party that I created. And we just sat around and smelled stuff, and and then they gave me orders. So sometimes it's just finding your niche of, if anybody else has other ideas on how to get in home or in person things, please chime in. They were my wheelhouse until I moved to America. Till COVID. Nope, don't want to go home. No, no. Bueller, nobody. See if he's messaged me yet. Nope. Is Karina here still? Or did she leave? Oh, she just came back in. Oh, hey, Karina. I was just picking on you, and I'm like, is she still in here? And then you asked to be let in.
I accidentally kicked myself out, and I was like, oh crap, now she's going to be like, what is she doing? Oh,
No, I'm only saying that
sorry
about
about that.
Ellie because she's got like double logins every time she comes in.
Yeah, no, I got caught up. I was doing a gift basket together for my ex-mother-in-law's birthday, and I was freaking out about it. And so I was so involved in what I was doing, and then I put my phone down and looked, and I was like, ah, Zoom. So that's why I'm
So
late.
we are talking about in-home or in-person, either sip and sniffs or parties, or what are your like tips or tricks about getting people to get together? Did you hear me saying about the help me with the new catalog, help me practice? Did you hear me say that
Yes, I think I did before I jumped out.
before you jumped out?
But for me, look, to be honest, I haven't had a party for a while. When I have had them, I've had them at home, and it is something that I want to get back into. But I literally just ask people. I just haven't had a chance to do that. But it is something that's what I want to do.
So
Um,
when you say you ask, what do you say?
I usually will say to people, um, you know, like about having a get together at home. Let's have a get together with your friends. A lot of the time, I do get adverse. No, I don't know anybody. That's the best one I hear. I haven't got any friends. We have. I hear that a lot. I haven't got any friends. So I don't push them, to be honest, because yeah, but people don't like pressure, and if they get pressured, then they're not going to come back. But I must admit I'm not very good at it, but it is something that I want to get back into because I actually enjoy it. As I said to you the other day, even doing that market or the fundraiser, like I love it in the moment. I love it. Later on, there's probably another story, but in the moment, I actually love
Mm.
it. It's really good fun. I love the social interaction. Um, it's funny. I just went up the shop for this mother-in-law thing, ex-mother-in-law, I should say. And I had a Scentsy top on. I actually had the one that Chelsea gave us all at, because I jumped on her team for, where did we go? SFR. I had it on when I went into the chemist, and this lady goes, oh, Scentsy. I went, yeah. She's like, oh, I love Scentsy. I was like, oh, here, have a card. Just scan it or bring me. I'm around the corner. But yeah, getting back to the point, the parties, I'm not very, it's funny. It's one of those things, you know me, I'm quite a positive social person, but the parties is a block for me.
Oh,
Because 9 times out of 10, I feel like I'm putting people in a position when I'm asking them. That's how the response comes back to me. It actually makes
oh.
me feel a little bit like,
If
oh,
somebody said, "Oh, I don't have any friends," I'd be like, "Oh my God, that should be you must have a lot of money. At Christmas time, you don't have to buy for anybody. That's amazing."
yeah. I didn't have any sample packs on me because I literally just came from work. So
Yeah.
I was still, I was still in uniform with a t-shirt chucked over the top, and I just carry business cards in my purse. So that was a
Love that.
bonus.
I love that, Deb.
Mm.
Deb wrote, that's what my sister said. I don't have any friends. 2 hours later, her party was over $600,
Yeah,
but that was like two
yeah,
years ago. I do
yeah,
think since COVID, I think things changed.
yeah,
And here's in my brain is what I think changed. Introverts became more introverted because
yeah.
if you're introverted, for me, we could be on lockdown again and I'd be like a pig in poo. I'd be so
Mm,
happy. Like lock it all down. I don't want to see
mm,
anybody. I don't want somebody to my door. I don't want to have to go anywhere. That's my love. But for social people, they don't like that. Um,
mm.
but then the other thing is, I think people got really comfortable and not hoardish, but messy in their COVID time. And now they don't want people over.
Yeah, well, that's possibly true too.
Like
And
I've
it's
seen
quite
a lot of
interesting
things.
because it's quite interesting because, me, I'm never home. I'm always out doing something somewhere. Even my daughter said to me, Mum, do you ever actually stop? Um, and I don't. I'm always somewhere. But to be honest, I hardly ever have people here. Hardly
Mm.
ever. So, yeah, I
I
think you're
I
right. I think
can't, but
people,
I try to like where could I have people? So I always
mm,
have a booth or a table or I go, "Hey, do you want to I have the new scents. Do you want to have lunch?" Because there's about 4 people right now that have
yeah,
said we need to get together and do lunch. And you better fucking believe I'm bringing Scentsy along to that lunch. Like,
yeah,
and I'll bring a little goodie bag for them and I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, we got the new scents and I had to bring these because I thought you might like these," or whatever. But um if you're kind of always I do believe it's a headspace thing. It's a
mm,
when you make up your mind to be in business, not just, oh, I sell Scentsy,
mm.
but
It's that
I
it's
have
that
I have a
rejection thing.
business. Hmm?
It's that rejection thing. People don't like, including me, people don't like feeling like they've been rejected. And doing it on social media, doing your thing on social media and all that, it's another stepping stone in part of the growth, really, because you start off, you're doing your social media stuff and you're like, oh, I feel a bit, funny about sharing all this stuff. And some people will interact, some people won't. And then you get to a point where you kind of go, I actually don't care anymore, what people think. But then the party thing is just another stepping stone of growth. And it's like I said,
You went
I
through
think I
cancer. You don't care.
no, and I think it's I said to you the other day, when I did that fundraiser, I just literally there was people in the room, I had my stuff set up, and I just literally went, oh, I'm going to go live. And I just went live. And one of the girls on my team was to the side, Leonie was there, and she was saying to her husband, Karina would never have done that 5 years ago. She would have been looking at who else was in the room and waiting till the room was empty. And I didn't even blink. I didn't even think twice. But what I was going to say is on the party thing, I quite like what Suzanne Misson does. She does the little get-togethers every month. Is
Okay.
Suzanne still on or?
Yep. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Suzanne. Let her rip.
Thanks for dobbing me in, Karina.
you're
Um,
welcome. I love you.
I do. I've just committed to doing monthly open homes, and I don't care if one person comes or 5 people come. I just spend that few hours on my business. So and trying to save orders for the couple of weeks before an open home so people actually have a reason to come. And then they always think of excuses because I'm naughty and I always deliver to them. But I've got a lady who I deliver to, and she lives in a retirement village, and she's really social and she's beautiful, and she just invites friends over every time I deliver. So that becomes a regular thing too, that she invites 3 or 4 friends over, and I'll just send her a message, I'm going to deliver on Thursday, and then she just spreads the word. And she another friend ordered and said, can you bring some stock on Thursday? So I just take stock and they all just have a wine. And yeah, it's just it's really hard. People are time poor and they have excuses, and you've just got to do something with your deliveries. Or another thing I just wrote down is maybe like do your own mystery host, and if you get orders then you can convert some of them into future hosts, because I know years ago one party just randomly can turn into a lot of parties down the track, but it's just getting that one party.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
really hard. It has got harder since
I
COVID,
will
that's for
say
sure.
the stats though, because I'm part of the Marco Polo ambassadors, and I'm been part of Age Concern in New Zealand for years, but now that I'm not there, but I still am part of the communication, if you will. And if you go on their website, you'll see me there in New Zealand, and you go on their brochure for visitors, there's my face. So the thing is, loneliness is at an all-time high. And as an introvert, the there's a saying that says the best plans are canceled plans for an introvert. However, and this, I have a couple friends, and this was something I had to change when I moved home, because I knew if I didn't go out and meet new people, I was fucked according to my business. Like I have to, or I'm gonna have to get another job, like a full-time job, and I don't want that. And so I say yes to things because it's one, I haven't been home for 16 years, so it's kind of new to me, but it also gives me content to place on social media. So if I'm going places and doing things in my brain, I'm going to meet people I can talk to Sensi about, and I'm going to be able to take pictures and do things that I will be able to post about, which will boost my algorithm, which will then in turn have more people see Sensi when I post Sensi. So everything in my brain, even down to personal, doing social things personally, comes back to my business. That's how my brain works. Because otherwise I don't want to leave. Um, but I will say, well, where was I going with that? Loneliness is such a high. And so I have a couple of friends that always cancel right before they're supposed to be somewhere with me and somebody else. And I'm like, I know what she's doing. Now, once they actually show up because we've either made them feel bad or I've given them a hard time, like, I know what you're fucking doing. Get in your car, get over here right now. They and me, we will have had the best time, and we will be like, oh my God, we have to do this again. And we mean it. Our souls feel better. We feel better. We've laughed. We've shared. We've like shared our lives. We've complained about the same things. We've talked about menopause. We've talked about fucking men being a pain in the ass. We have talked about all this stuff, and we've shared all these things. And it felt like part of our heart and our soul was like stitched up and repairing. Like there's something about it to where you leave, we're all like, God, that was so good. We need to do that more often. But then everybody goes right back into that. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to leave my house. I want to put on sweatpants. That thing. And so loneliness is such a big thing. So even if you can go to other people, or you can do something where even if you're volunteering, like going to retirement communities, contacting the retirement communities and going, hey, because sometimes they don't get to go a lot of places. So what if you brought them something new to do? Like, hey, I'm just going around and doing smelly sessions. They don't have to buy anything, but you are showing them Scentsy. You could give a fragrance flower to the person at the front desk or something like that. But what if that, like, how can you be of service? But also with my team, I always say, go out and make people smile. Make sure you're like giving people genuine compliments. Like, that's how I get to talk to strangers. I'll be like, oh my gosh, I love your purse. Oh my gosh, I love your this. Or, oh, and actually, it doesn't happen often, but I'll be like, you are one good mother. Your child is so well behaved. Those manners are amazing. And that doesn't happen often. But when it does, she gets samples, let me just tell you. So I think sometimes we have to take ourselves out of it. And I think if we're so worried about rejection and we're so worried about what people are going to think of us and we're so worried about this and we're only thinking about us. We're actually not thinking about them. If it's always, oh, what about me? And oh, I feel this way and oh, I feel that way and oh, I don't want to be rejected and oh, I don't want, oh, I don't, you. It has nothing to do, nothing in this business has to do with you. Nothing. Not team building, not selling, not sharing Scentsy in any way. It all has to do with how you make others people feel and how you are remembered. So my pink hair, I wear a hat a lot just so people don't talk to me. Believe it or not, that's a lot of why I wear on days where I'm like, I can't, not today. You don't want to talk to me today. I'm bitchy today. I make sure I have my hat on. Because as soon as my hair shows, everybody wants to talk to me. And that's why I made little cards up that said, thank you for the compliment. But like, think about where you go in a week. I've always said, follow your money. Go look at your bank statement, go look at your debit card statement. And for the next 2 weeks, wherever you go, can you make more money at those places than what you spend? Are you handing out samples at the grocery store? Are you saying thank you to the retail worker or thank you to the grocery store cashier and saying, thank you so much. I know you're on your feet all day and you could probably, and people are mean nowadays. Holy crap, people have become really mean to like retail workers. Like, oh my gosh, the things they get yelled at for, that's not even their fault. Or waitresses or, restaurant staff or whatever. Nobody gets paid enough and everybody has to put up with a lot of crap nowadays. But why not say, I see you. Thank you for what you did. Here's a little treat for you. My superstar director always said, when someone hands you a receipt, you hand them a gift, and that is your samples. So you never know where it can lead, but every single time I've given somebody a sample, they've been so excited and so happy. It's uncomfortable at first, but I've been doing it a long time, so I'm better at it now. But when I get really like I have a trip to earn, again, that fuel is very different. And I will be like, I don't care who you are, you're getting a sample today. And then it does become about me. But I don't know if any of that helps. Oh, there you go. Robin, I get compliments about my nail and hair all the time. Woohoo! How would you respond to that, including Scentsy, other than, oh, thank you? Honestly, I literally say, oh my gosh, you just made my day. Let me give you something, and hopefully it makes you smile too. Just something. I'm usually cocky and smartassy, depending on who the person is in front of me. Even if I don't know them, I try to read them real quick. But I had cards made, and those aren't them. There they are. I had cards made, and I wanted this for years, and I finally had them made. But they say, oh my God, if I can read them. Thank you for the compliment and spreading HAP, HAP dash PEA dash ness, and it's got pictures of peas on it. Happiness. Thank you for making the world a little brighter. It's got my QR code on it. And on the back, it says, thanks for taking time out of your day to make me smile. Here's a little sample from me to you. I hope everything smells wonderful in your life. Have the most happy day. And then I have a place there where I can write what the sample is, and then I usually attach the sample to the card. So that's something that I started, and I haven't been amazing at because I wear a hat a lot, to be honest, and I don't get compliments until my hat's off. So when I have my hair showing, I need to make sure these are always in my pocket with samples. Even the sticker would be fine, but then I don't feel like it's a gift. I have to feel like I'm giving them something cool. So it would be washer with samples or a scent circle or for me to feel like here or whatever. I don't know what we can all buy anymore in the store, um but that compliment makes you feel good. So what would you like? I'm always really honest with people and just say, thank you so much. That is so sweet of you to say, or whatever. Um, and that can be uncomfortable, especially for the people that don't know how to take a compliment. I learned a long time ago, and I took a lot of patience. When someone gives you a compliment, you say thank you, and then you shut the hell up. You don't say, oh, but it looks bad today, or oh, but it's all this. Oh, but it's you judge you poo-poo on their compliment. Don't poo-poo on their compliment. Double down and give them one back. I can put that in the group, sure. Well, thanks to Jason. I got a text. Oh my word, I missed it, didn't I? Hold on. Everybody smile.
Karen just wrote, tell him to jump on. I'm willing to stay if he jumps on.
He said they'd still hang out if you want to jump on. Everybody that's here, I'm going to write their name down. You owe them all a gift, including me. And in-person connections. I don't know. It doesn't give me a, oh, let's see. What time did he sell that? 1:54 a.m. So I sent him the text at 1:02 and he sent a reply at 1:54 and it's 2:11. So I'm thinking he might be back in bed. Da 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 da. I also had other cards since we're just waiting. Who's Chelsea Mealer? Mellor. Do we know her? She's coming in. No, that's not.
Just while you're doing that, can I say one of the new people we have on here tonight is my new teammate.
Yay!
That's Tash.
Guess who's here?
Oh, it's Jason here. Okay, oh, shut up.
No.
Yeah, so Tash is new.
Dum,
She just joined up the
dum.
last couple of weeks.
Jason has entered the building.
Jeez.
Welcome, Tash.
My
Welcome.
word. What a letdown.
Hey, we waited.
I know. I was supposed to be on an hour ago, and you guys are still here.
Yeah, it kind of goes like that.
We have heaps to talk about.
Oh my gosh. I guess. I guess. I don't
When
even
you
know
said
what happened.
15 minutes, I giggled, by the way. Sure.
Like I had my alarm set and everything, and then like 15 minutes before I was supposed to wake up, I like looked. Sort of woke up and looked at my clock. I was like, oh, I got to get up in 15 minutes. Next thing I know, I wake up and I'm like an hour late, and I got text from Patty saying like, hey, wake up, you're on. And I was like, oh my gosh, what in the world happened? I don't even know what happened. Just
They're
total
used to
breakdown
being
on my
early
end.
anyway.
So sorry, guys. I don't
I
really,
think, Jason, if you send us a free warmer, we'll all forgive you.
yeah, I'm sure you would.
One of the new ones.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
have it
like the
count for the
new
incentive.
seashell one, that's coming
Yeah,
out
yeah.
in April,
That's
I
the
Yeah,
just
one
one.
of
like
That's the one we want.
the little leaping lily one. So I'll have the seashell one, that looks really cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, do my best. Um,
This
well,
is like
gosh,
putting
you
you on
guys
the
look
spot.
great. Always good to see you guys. Hope you're having a great Monday.
Monday? Oh yeah, it's Monday.
Yeah, we haven't even started Monday yet here. Like, I mean, it is technically Monday, but yeah, we haven't even started. Got
Yeah,
my
you're
whole,
usually an early riser and I'm a night owl, so we can bookend.
yeah, yeah. There you go.
Happy birthday, Chelsea.
Oh, yeah, happy birthday. That's exciting. It's not often that you're 26. Um, well, I don't want to keep you guys too much longer. Is there something I had a whole little presentation put together. But Patty also said you guys might have some questions if uh there are things you want to just chat about. If there's something on your mind, we can talk about first. Otherwise, I'll share just a couple ideas with you.
Don't be shy, everyone. This is your chance.
Is everybody in
I
New
have a
Zealand, by
question.
the way?
I
No.
have a question.
No,
Oh,
Australia.
okay. Okay, we got both. Good. Yes.
Will the, and I know we have to be sell, 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 but will the bring back my, not bring back my bar, always get my bar come back to Australia and New Zealand?
If they get their numbers up.
Oh, God damn it.
Uh, yeah. I mean, it is a numbers thing. One of the challenges we had with Always Get My Bar is we had a fairly significant number of bars in the Always Get My Bar program where the draw on them or the number of orders for them was less than like 10 a year that were being ordered. You'd have like one or two bars in a Always Get My Bar order. And then they had that spaced out to getting it like once every quarter, so like four times a year. So, you'd have 8 bar. Well, in order to like provide that, we have to pour a whole batch and ship it down there. And so, just became an inventory and warehouse challenge where we had hundreds and hundreds of bars. That's why we were able to sell so many of them when we went through and did the kind of clearance of them. We were able to sell, quite a few because we just had lots of inventory of them, and we are charged by the 3PL company that we have. There's a charge for every product that we have on hand there or that they're storing for us. And so it became quite a significant financial negative to do Always Get My Bar. And we even looked at the possibility of shipping from the US. Like you could do Always Get My Bar. We would just ship it from here, and then the shipping rates on that became quite astronomical. And I know in New Zealand, you're like, that's just our everyday. But yeah, so it is just an inventory and market size thing. So um,
I've always wondered, just out of curiosity, because I like to see things that we're aiming for. I always wondered if Sensi could somehow do a like one of the thermometers or whatever, or a warmer with like, when you get to this level, we'll give you this. And when you get to this level, we'll bring that back. And when you get,
yeah,
so that people know, like, oh my gosh, if we just do this much more, that everybody's working towards this one
yeah,
goal thing, where now they're just kind of like, well, yeah, they want us to sell stuff, but then I'm going to be the devil's advocate, but then they're not giving us anything.
yeah,
And so, like, in my brain, I like to see like what's the number we have to hit and where did we go? Okay. So we have to, okay. If everybody does this, if how many consultants are in region 3? Do you know?
Um, 30,000.
30,000. So 30,000, that number divided by 30,000. Like that's how my brain works. If everybody
Yeah.
just does this.
Yeah. And so, and I have asked that in the past. Like how many consultants would we need to get to? And I never did get like a satisfactory answer. I probably just need to ask again.
I don't think it's
But the
about
other
how
thing
many
with that,
consultants, it's how
Jason,
many are working.
yeah, that's what I was going to say, Patty. You might have 30,000 consultants, but like I know I think in January I wasn't active, but I was in February. But how many of them are like if you only have to be active 1 month of the year and you've
Hmm.
got 30,000 and say 20,000 of those are only active 1 month a year, then the reality of it is that you've got 10,000 that are sort of trying to achieve that goal. Yeah, I'm just throwing numbers out there, but are trying to achieve that goal when
Hmm.
the rest could be the ones that are sitting there whinging and bitching, saying, "Why don't we get this? Why don't we get that?" And they're not helping to reach that goal. So it makes it really, really hard that's and Patty's idea sounds fantastic, but you also need to know, okay, we don't only need this many consultants. We need this many consultants to be active, every month
Hmm.
or at least every second month for us to be able to grow to the point that we need for things to be sustainable and to grow further.
Yeah. I was way off, by the way. Uh, I thought, um, so let's see. I was overestimating the number of people in um, the UK and Germany, and then overestimating uh, the number of people in the other countries, Netherlands, Belgium, France, Spain, that type of thing. So hold on. There's actually 10,000, not 30, 10,000 total, roughly, in Region 2. And then I didn't pull, I haven't pulled final numbers, but I pulled numbers with about 3 or 4 days left in the month, which, a lot of people go active in the last few days. But like, for example, in Australia, we were at 14% active with a few days left in the month. New Zealand, we were at 16% active.
Even if you did an Australia versus New Zealand, I'm like, well, that just was fun to hear.
Yeah.
Less
Well,
people in New Zealand, but got bigger percentage. Oh
yes.
yeah, it's a
Yes.
throwdown.
All Blacks versus the Wallabies. Let's go. Bring it on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that, like, oh,
Yeah. In total, Australia has about 2,400 consultants, and New Zealand has just over 400. So we're just under 3,000 um, in Australia, New Zealand. And yeah. What percentage do we need uh, to start getting things back? It is like total numbers. Australia, again, this was with a few days left. So this was last Tuesday that I pulled these numbers. So um, I need to pull the numbers again. But year over year active in Australia was down 7%, and year over year active in New Zealand was down 8%. But that number will have decreased dramatically. That's what we were looking at, was trying to get year over year active growth. So that's on my to-do list today, is to pull the numbers and see uh, what is it now that month is over. So, um,
So,
yeah,
Jason, is that active or is that in total
that was active.
active?
Yeah. No,
So do you
sorry,
have
that was
the
total.
numbers?
We have about 3,000. total. And then we were about 14% active in Australia, 16% active in New Zealand, um, heading into the last couple of days.
See, I think stats like that you need to go into Australia and New Zealand page and you need to say those kind of stats because, like, we hear all the time, oh, there's too many consultants in Australia.
Right.
We can't get anyone to buy. There's one on every doorstep. And, like, that's nothing. 3,000 consultants. And what's the population of Australia and New Zealand? That's insane. That's like literally a handful in every state. That is, yeah, that's insane. I'm going to my team with that. I'm going to be like, guys, don't you whinge to me about there being too many consultants because there is not enough consultants. And that's why we are like, yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
think
need a
those kind of
scoreboard
numbers.
every month that says Australia, New Zealand, and I think there needs to be like a continual competition
Yeah, we're going into battle now.
because they do. They're like, Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears over here. I'm like, what?
So that means, because I've just done the math, that there was 336 up to you when you did the statistics, 336 consultants in Australia and 96 consultants in New Zealand. And to be perfectly honest, that's really quite pathetic. Especially if people want to get things back, whinge
See,
and bitch
this
all
was
you
worth
like.
getting up for, Jason, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Whinge and bitch all you like, but get your ass out there. And I'm talking to myself as well. I was active in February, not in January, but I'm talking to myself in particular. Get your ass out there and get active every single month if you want things to happen.
Yeah.
Sorry, Karina, go for it.
I have a question.
Yes.
Sorry, Jason, and this is because I was at work and I missed the live. I was trying to watch the live yesterday, but in between work and that just wasn't working. Is the 200 PRV to be active again this month or not? Because last month it intimated February and March.
Yeah. Yeah. It
So,
is March for sure. And then the question
okay.
is, will it go beyond that?
Yeah.
Can
Oh,
can
that's
I just
fine.
say though,
It's just
if you
so
want
that
to get the
I can just be aware. So you can be 200 PRV in March as well, but if you want to be earning the incentive, then you got
Yeah.
to be 250.
It's 250. Yeah, which
Yep.
is very
I feel,
confusing. But the
well, it's not
incentive
really.
was
It's just
built
people
out
just,
before.
yeah,
Yeah. So maybe it's just like, get the active, and then if you want to earn the incentive, you got to push a little
yeah.
bit further. So,
No, I've
yeah.
already sold one today, so I'm happy with that.
I just want to
One
say
down,
someone said
three to
something
go.
about having incentives like that washer whiffs one, that free washer whiffs with every order over $75. That was really good. If there was something else that you're trying to get rid of old stock and just lump it in as a
Yeah.
as a special like that, and whiffs is good here. That would be really good to do that again for another month because it really didn't take advantage of it like I'd hoped. But another thing I just thought of then, we've got exclusive for Sensi Club subscribers. What about for consultants active club? When you're active in the month, you become you have access to something, say in the consultant store that you wouldn't be able to get otherwise. And then that's just for that month. And then to get access again, you've got to get active the next month to get access to that again. Something along those lines.
Yeah. Yeah. Great
Coupons
idea.
or I don't know, the active club. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe go
And
into a drawing
we've
for
I've
like a
thrown around
product
we've thrown
pack or
around a lot of
something.
ideas, even around like an active consistency. Like if you're active for you know 6 months in a row type thing, that there's some type of fun
How,
benefit. So
how about every month since you started? That's my one goal. I have to be active every month.
yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting. So the last few months, starting in I think I did. I think I started it in November, but I've been sending out a survey every month to people who hit active, but typically below about 500 PRV. So not to people who are selling 500 or more, or pushing for the minimum for a title or something like that. So I've been sending out a survey just asking some of the most typical, what are the behaviors that are most typical for, or that was most important for you in getting active. And it's interesting because the most common responses are just around contacting people, just, reached out to my friends or posted on social media are more common even than, how to party or how to basket party, that type of thing. So it right now it seems like if we said, gosh, what do we got to do to get people active? It's just getting people to talk about Sensi with some level of consistency. It is interesting because, in October and November when we had flash sales and I asked, what's the one thing you did to become active? The most common answer was promote the flash sale. So when there's a big sale, people engage and promote and talk about it. And or to your point, in the month where we did the free washer whiffs, when I said what was the most important thing you did to get active, a lot of people said talked about the free washer whiffs. So it's like if there's something to talk about, and that's what I'm trying to work on and provide more consistently through the Facebook Lives, but also maybe we need to do even a bit more kind of, you know, I
Well,
don't
they
know if
need
we
to
need
be
one
able
more
to be
document.
comfortable and proud to offer what they have without it being a thing, like a sale
Yes,
or a free thing
yes,
or like, why aren't you proud enough to go out and talk about Sensi without the gimmick? Like, why? Why?
yes,
And can we get over that hump of you feeling like you're bothering people where you feel proud to go out and go, oh my gosh, if you order $75, you get free washer whiffs. Well, you could give them something for free if they order $75. Doesn't have to be washer whiffs, but
yeah, right.
like that's the hump, obviously, is that there's some sort of disconnect of pride or value or confidence or
Hmm.
something that's, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to like, we all say, I know I was always taught by Scott, like
Ugh.
celebrate the no when you're recruiting. Why can't they celebrate the no when you ask someone if they want a $130 warmer and they say no? Like it's the same mindset. Personally,
Mm.
I think that people have to get out of that no one wants to pay full price. Like I am so happy about them saying no flash sales. Like, yeah, they're great, but they're great for that month and they ruin our business for the rest of the year because people only want to buy when it's cheap. Our products aren't cheap, like they're not worth nothing. So why do we only promote them when they're out for $3 or $4 or, like, look, don't get me wrong, the clearance section at the moment is better than a flash sale. It's insane in Australia and New Zealand at the moment. There's so much in there, but like, why is it that people only want to promote things when they're cheap? Because they're only teaching their customer base to only buy cheap.
Mm.
So get out of that mindset for starters and get into the mindset where you want to celebrate the no on the $130 warmer rather than, hey, do you want to join my team? And they say no, and we're okay with that,
And
Hmm.
But
you're
Hmm.
gonna have now all these, the enliven, the classic, the warm, inspire. You're gonna have something to go down and go, oh, well, if that one doesn't fit your budget, this one in the same style, edit, whatever you want to call it, this be something, this is a little bit, more affordable, but it still gives you this feeling and it goes still with your living room or whatever you want to say.
Hmm.
So you can always start high, you can always come down. I used to sell an $1,200 eye cream. So I always think if I can sell those, I can sell a $50 warmer
But also,
Yeah.
if they want a $130 warmer but don't want to pay the full price, then host.
or join.
Yeah, or join.
Yeah. This is the struggle, I guess, right? Is um how do we help just kind of, an average consultant have that type of mindset or that type of approach to say, hey, I'm going to talk to I talk about this almost every time I get on is Orville's keynote from last reunion was talk to 3 to 5 people every day and do all of your Sensi Connect tasks. Well, how do we get just your typical average certified consultant to just talk to 3 people? You know, how many days in the month can you talk to 3 people about Sensi? I went to a basketball game for my um, son the other day, and a lady walked in, and her son was on the opposing team, but we've known him for a long time, and we're kind of friends. And she's a Sensi consultant, I think a certified consultant, been a consultant for a while. And so we were just talking, and throughout the course of the game, I finally said, hey, how's your Sensi business going? And she said, oh, pretty non-existent. I haven't really done anything since October. I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, she said, I know, and we've made a lot of changes. I said, yeah, we have candles now. Oh, yeah, I saw that. And I was like, okay, well, I get, but she was, she didn't, she seemed a little bit, maybe it was just because she knew she was talking to somebody who works at the home office, a little bit embarrassed about it. But, literally hasn't talked about her business since October. Well, okay. Um, Yeah, clothing in the store is always an issue, um,
Well, and
because
clothing in the Vistaprint, they don't get the same colors and selection in Region 3 than we do in Region 1.
right, I'm sure Vistaprint
It's
has
like
yeah, is
black and
much
white.
different. Yeah, I mean that was kind of the direction we went was rather than us trying to provide it, especially globally, was the contract with Vistaprint to try to make it so people could kind of um, create and print their own. But yeah. It's because I mean, there was I don't know how many years ago, there was a time where we had lots of clothing and we were coming out with new shirts and things somewhat consistently, but they were somewhat pricey and didn't really sell, honestly, well at all. And so,
I
um,
always told people if I spend $95 on a t-shirt, I'm living in this t-shirt. But if I spend $95 on this dress for a dance, I'm wearing it like once, maybe
yeah,
twice. And I'm like, and it's a tax write-off if it says Scentsy on it. Like, it's a different
yeah.
way to look at clothing, I guess. But
And yeah, Deb, you can make your own. I honestly don't know all of the rules around
yes,
the logo, and you can get permission to do it. Um, I
as
think there's
long
a
as
form you
you're
have to fill
making it,
out to just get permission for it. Something?
no.
No? How do
As
you
long as
tell?
the consultant is the one making it,
Oh,
it's
that's right. As long as you don't
fine.
sell it.
But if yeah, you can't have somebody else make it and sell it. And as a consultant, you can't make it for other people and sell it. You can give it to them if you want, but you cannot sell it to other consultants either.
Yeah.
I know I do for
So
my
Debbie,
team. We do drawings every once in a while for like, for instance, if everybody gets active, we'll do a drawing and the winner or two winners I'll pick and they can choose anything from the Little Gems Boutique. Because she's a great third party vendor that's approved here in America, but I love her stuff. But I know that it's kind of pricey to do there, but for me to buy it and send it, I can do that for one or two people. Like if, and that's what but I always tell everybody, put your orders together. She'll figure out how to get it to you the cheapest that she can if you had to too.
Yeah.
so Deb, if you have your own cricket machine, yes, you can make your own. I've made some. When the new logo came out, I made some. I had some on when I was at SFR last year on the Gold Coast. So, yeah, if you have your own cricket machine, yes, you can.
Yeah.
Jason, what would you like to see? This is a businessy question. What would you like, let's say in the next 3 months, what would you like to see Australia, New Zealand consultants do?
Oh, geez. I mean, yeah, we start with being active every month. The dream is people active. Even for this group, it might be look at getting to 500 PRV every single month, and then I don't know, what's a good number? Five join conversations every month? That's very much tailored to like this group. When we have somewhere around, 18 to 20% of consultants who are active, thinking that we'll get that many people to have join conversations is not particularly likely, but for this group of people who really want to invest in their business, it's moving towards okay, uh, having joint conversations.
Can I just say about a joint conversation I had recently was to Tash, who's my new teammate, who's here on here tonight. Yay! And she was a customer at my work, so I work in mechanics, and she came to pick up her car. And she was in my office. Says, "Oh, have you ever heard of Sensi?" She'd never heard of Sensi, and she thought I said sexy because everyone thinks sexy is Sensi. And I was at a market down the main street and I had to introduce Sensi, and they thought I said sexy. And of course, sexy Sensi. I played it up anyway. But yes, she hadn't heard of it, and I had a woman going, and so I showed her all about it, and yeah, she clicked onto it straight away. And that so here we are. She went away. She took a catalogue. She went and checked out the website, saw what it was all about. Came back and had a talk to me the next week. And yeah, now she's joined. So people who have never heard of Sensi can actually just get it straight away if they
Yeah.
just get shown a product. Yeah, and it's like that was my yeah. I've never had that happen before. But yeah, Tash really gets it. It's like she's like my mini me already. And so and she's already and she reached shooting star too before the end of the month.
Woohoo!
Yeah, and she's still got a few days to go over 15 days. So yeah. So sensational start. Here we come.
Well
Very
done,
good.
Thanks,
Tosh.
Very
Ellie.
good.
You're
Congratulations.
awesome.
So are you, Tash.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's really when it comes down to it, it's how many days every month can you talk to 3 to 5 people and do all of your follow-up tasks. And then when you decide, okay, I want to push my business a little bit more, okay, set a number, 5 or 10, um, join conversations every month. And then, yeah, I mean, and I guess in the end, what we hope is that people over the next few months um, enjoy their Scentsy business, like, have fun with it, feel good about it, build a little bit of momentum around it. So, yeah, that would be good. That was a little bit of what I was going to talk about, but we've had a great time just chatting. So, um, but there's sort of this um, theory around why people do things when we talk about, why do they do that, or even why do they not do that? And really, it comes down to two questions, which is, can I do this, and is it important? And so every time you see someone doing a particular task or not doing a task, if you're like, man, why aren't people talking about Sensi? They've said no to one of those two questions. One is, do I think I can do it? And number two is, do I think this is important or do I care about this? And so, when we say, why don't people just talk about the product? If we don't have a flash sale, why don't they just talk about the fact that, I mean, the lady that I talked with at the basketball game the other day, she spent a whole month of everything being 10% off. She didn't talk about Scentsy one time. Like she didn't talk about it at all in February. Said last time she talked about her business was like November. Well, either she doesn't think she can do it, or she doesn't think it's important enough or sort of worth it enough to her to go on and post about it, reach out to people, send a couple of text messages. So, when we're striving, to identify, understand our own behavior as well as try to influence the behavior of others. That's what we come back to is, can I do it? And that's where you just giving people ideas of like, oh, hey, here's something to talk about this week, can be helpful. Hey, here's the when I'm messaging customers this week, here's what I'm focused on. This month it seems like a no-brainer around the new catalog, but not every when you think, oh, that's a no-brainer. Mm, a lot of scarecrows out there. Um, but and then it's is this important? Is this something I want to do? And sometimes it's financial, and they think, is it worth it financially? But there's other things that come into play in terms of, they feel like if I talk to people and they don't buy from me, now I feel like I'm sort of a failure and a letdown. You guys mentioned this, just like getting to that place of like, it's okay if people say no, but if I feel like if I talk to people and they say no, then I'm a failure and a letdown. Well, I might not want to open myself up to that. And so instead of not opening myself up to that, I just choose to do nothing. Because if I do nothing, nobody's rejected me. And so I don't feel, maybe I don't feel as bad about doing nothing as I feel about doing something and having some people say no. So anyway, it's when you look at your team or when you look at the people around you or when you look at other Sensi consultants and you think, man, why aren't they doing anything? In the end, the answer is they've said no to, do I think I can do it? And is it important to me? And it's sometimes hard to change the, is it important to me? If somebody says, no, it's just not important to me. I just don't care. Um, Hard to like work on that one. You'd be like, well, you should care. You know. Yeah, Patty put into the chat that nothing changes until you experience pain. I'm reading an article right now. Oh, I don't have it here with me, but there's a guy who springs. It's called the Springs of Behavior, I think. Anyway, it's an old article, and they had kind of revamped it. Oh yeah, Springs of Behavior. Who wrote it? Anyway, he sort of is one of the early people who identified this idea, springs of action. That's what it is, springs of action. He was one of the early people who identified this idea that people only take action based off of two things: fear of loss and hope of gain. And so every action is tied to something you hope to get for it or some pain you're hoping to avoid. And we move when we think, if you're sitting on your couch, you're going to move if there's something worth getting up for, or if all of a sudden something is causing you severe pain. Otherwise, we'll just sit on the couch.
And
So,
sometimes with that, you do the action and nothing happens. So
yeah.
you think, well, why did I bother? And so it's really about that change of mindset. So I did the action and I didn't get anything, nothing changed. But if I keep doing the action, will I get change? And so you have to change your mindset. And again, I'm talking to myself here. I have to change. I have to change my mindset and say, I need to do the action and I need to do it repeatedly to see if any change happens. Doing it
Yeah.
once will not instigate any change at all. And so it's and Patty says it all the time, and I'm positive I've heard you say it as well. It's that consistency. The
Hmm.
consistency of the action will eventually, and I'm saying eventually, I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but it will eventually get some change. And with some change, then the mindset will click in and go, okay, I did it consistently. So now I need to up my game and do something else consistently to keep improving that change.
Yeah. Yep. That is very true. Doing something one time very rarely brings much impact.
I
So,
think when it comes to anything, consistency is the key, like everyone always says. I know for myself, I got into a pretty dark place for about 6 months. I moved from Port Lincoln over to Adelaide, 800 k's away. I had a really, really close-knit customer base when I was in Lincoln, and I moved a long way away. Patty's laughing in the back of her head now because she's like, I moved countries. She says it to me all the time. But for me, it caused a lot of anxiety to the point
Mm,
where I shut down internally. And I was like, do you know what? I can't be the best leader that I can be unless I'm doing the things that I want my team to do. So then I decided, right, I need to get back into doing markets because, as you all know, Erin's a talker. She's not a writer. So, I'm all about getting out there and actually speaking to people and showing the products and showing my love and my energy for the products. And that's what gets me the sales. So I started booking into markets. And then I was like, you know what? Now I need my team to follow suit. So all my team that I have in Adelaide, I invited them all to come along, and I had one girl who'd never done markets before. She did a few markets with me, and now she's gone out on her own and she started doing markets. Then I had another girl who had only done one market, and like she was that nasty T word. She was a Tupperware manager before they went under over here, and she had a team of 400, and she came over to Sensi, and she sort of was feeling lost for a while, and she has got her momentum. We did a mega
mm.
party over at her house on Friday night. Don't know if you guys have ever done it, but great idea to do with your teams. We had a mega party, so we set up a Facebook group, and there was 3 of us leaders who invited all of our VIPs into one Facebook group, and then I went to her house because we were local, and we went live. We showed all the products that were leaving that we had on hand. We showed all the products that were staying for the new season, and then we showed all the new stuff that we got from World Tour. And obviously Hamish, because my daughter has him. So we showed what we had. And it was amazing. Like, we set up shopping links for people. We had one other leader in New South Wales, so she went live into the group as well. So I just think that these kind of things, and now that I've been doing markets consistently every weekend, I'm traveling Adelaide, going to different markets every weekend to get myself back out there again. And so I always make it, I make a point of having a QR code to my VIP group and to my Scan and Connect. So I get all their details. And yeah, it's about not just leading yourself, but leading your team to the things that help you be a good leader. Because if you show them how to lead, they will be your next gen leaders, and they will come forth and they will lead their teams. And for me, that's my biggest thing right now, is bringing forward those leaders and getting them up there so that they can show their downline what I've showed them. So I think for me, kicking myself in the butt and going, right, get out there, start talking to people again, hand out 1 million samples, because we know it's all about getting the smell under people's noses, because a lot of people will not order online when they can't sniff. But you go to a market and they sniff everything and they buy straight away. They love it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's about consistency and kicking our own butts sometimes, because, like Jocelyn was saying, and I love you for saying, I'm doing this for myself. I'm saying this to myself because I know I haven't been up to the plate, and recognizing our own downfalls and then kicking our own butts is the best way to go about it. And like, I've Patty to kick my butt as well. She'd be like, right, Erin, get it. But yeah, like, keep your circle tight, keep your team going the way you're going, and don't expect your team to do things that you're not going to do yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic. Well, um, gosh, now you guys have been on for 2 hours. This is the best. Good thing I was an
Oh,
hour late.
I kept saying, "Oh my God, I bet you he comes in at whatever time," and I kept checking my phone and going, and then I saw a message. I went, "Oh, 154." But I told you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they said, "You can tell him to come in." I'm like, "Okay."
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
We
so
did the opposite this time. We had all the chatting for the hour beforehand instead of the hour after.
yeah, because usually I stop recording and then we all just hang out afterwards.
So I already
Yeah.
said to my partner, because he's off at fire brigade training, I says, "Oh, this will go for a couple of hours." So he's still not home yet.
When I started this, it was like these will be a half hour. These will be a half hour. No presenter has been a half hour. None
Oh
of it's ever
gosh.
been a half hour, ever. It's always been an hour. And then I'm like, you know what? Thursday night shift's an hour every week too. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
I have a question. I'm not sure if you know the answer, but especially for us here in New Zealand and those who are, say, in Perth, it takes a bit longer for our deliveries to arrive. Early access was actually kind of good to actually get at least the basic smells under people's noses for like the limited
Mm.
edition LTOs, like the Valentine's Day and Easter and everything. Because the way it has been without them, by the time we actually order when it's available, by the time I get the smells on people's noses, most things are actually sold out. And I'm like, then I'm feel like, well, what's the point? I show you all this and say, well, I'll show you this. You can't get it. You can't get it anymore. But if I can at least get the smells under people's noses before it's released,
Hmm.
um, it's sort of a helping hand so that it actually gets the excitement going so that when it is released, they've got a chance at least. Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah, it takes 2 or 3 weeks for things to get to us here after placing that order. Same with Perth, I think. So it's
Mm.
just for early access. I'm not sure if it's the logistics thing right now, but yeah, I don't know how everyone else feels, but
Same with
yeah,
Wisconsin.
what's that?
Same with Wisconsin. It takes us like 2 weeks
Oh,
to.
okay, yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah. Well, there you
Yeah.
go. So it's not
Huh.
not just not
Yeah.
just here. Just the early access actually makes a difference, even if it's just the bars, just to get the smells.
I
Yeah.
got my stuff faster in New Zealand, Jason, than I do now. And that was so excited to come to America for that. And I was like, oh man.
So on that note, Jason, would it be easier or cheaper or make more business sense to actually create stickers of those? And I know they're limited time only, but some of them in the end come into the catalogue at a later date. So would it be possible for perhaps stickers that could then be early access, as a maybe a cheaper or easier option to get it out here? Because I remember them
Um,
saying something about everyone bought the early access bars, but then the sales didn't actually increase. The early access bars would get sold out or whatever, but then there was no. I remember someone saying, don't know if it was you or Heidi, Heidi and Orville or Dan, but saying that the early access bars, yeah, would sell out, but then there was no indication of them actually increasing sales once they were released. So I just thought maybe stickers might be something that
yeah.
might be easier.
Yeah. Yeah, let me put that on my list of things to um talk with our kind of product development team with and see because I know we've done stickers in the past. I don't know what the holdup would be around why we couldn't. So yeah, let me have some conversations around it.
Remember when it was a world tour when we got the little black lunch bag thing, but we got all the limited edition testers for the whole year. They were all white and they didn't have names. They just had numbers, which was so fun. Um, but we got all of them in one hit at World Tour for the rest of the year or the rest of the
Mm,
catalog. That was even really cool. Like, I'll never forget that because we had so much fun without a name and color. Like, that was fun for me and my customers. We had a blast trying to figure out what things smell like.
yeah, yeah,
But even
yeah,
something like that, where you just go, here's the limited edition. We're not going to tell you anything about them. We'll tell you which collection it is when it comes out. But I don't know.
yeah,
Might be
yeah.
cheaper than stickers because I bet you these are expensive to make and you have to buy so many. I'm
Uh
thinking,
that yeah, I mean when we don't have something it usually comes down to cost.
yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Well, I have a few
Right.
things that I will ask about and follow up on. And yeah.
Thanks for getting up, Jason.
Yeah, so sorry I was so darn late, but thanks you guys for sticking around.
Thank you.
Okay,
All
we'll
right.
talk
Good
with you guys
night.
again soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Good night. Maybe.